What really happened? Was it planned? Was there a cover-up attempt? And was it legal? Inquiring minds want to know.
Alright guys, so here's the test. This being part 2, dealing with this IMUSA grease pot and the mini heat from Smokeeater908. As I said, this is the top part of the felt that goes on and gives you the nice ring at the top of this guy here. I took it off doing some testing. Reason being is in this grease pot, this is only the second time I've used it, to be fair. Very first time, of course, I wanted to see what I could do, and made myself a nice big muffin. And of course, using the mini heat, this is just to show you how much power this little guy has, irrelevant of how often you have to refuel it. You can see it definitely burnt the bottom of this guy. The muffin was pretty huge, and let me tell you, the rest of it was awesome. However, as I said, doing some testing, just kind of want to see what it'll do. This guy looks like it was done right about a little after 27 minutes. Mind you, the less heat, the longer things will take sometimes. So I'm going to pull this bad boy here off. Move this to the side. Yeah, sorry there, Robbie, but I'm a wimp. I'm not like you. I can't pick all these guys up here barehanded. Let me get this stuff moved over here. I think I'm going to come back in just a second after I show you guys the top of that right there. That way I can pull this out and we'll see what happens. See if I did this right and cooked it all the way or not. I did stick in a couple of times a toothpick. You can see here. And it's coming out dry. But of course, like everything else, test is usually when you pull it all the way out and see exactly what you can do, as far as getting to the bottom of this thing. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now as you guys can see here, it's pretty nice, pretty big there. Looks really, really good. Not burnt. Lightly brown. Bottom's darker, but it's not burnt. It's actually brown. A lot of steam coming off this guy. Oh, let me get something here. I'm not going to do the. This isn't Bannock. I'm not going to do the whole. Gotta pull it apart deal. This, my friends, of course, is just a muffin. So let's cut into this guy here and see what we get. Feels really nice and soft. Oh, look at that. Cooked all the way through and through. Nice steam coming off of this guy right here. How about that? Right there, brother. Look at that. Beautiful. Cooked all the way through. Bottom's got a little bit hard to peel off, but as I said, when looking at it, it's brown, not burnt. Tastes fantastic. It took almost an ounce and a half to cook this. I know there's a lot of guys who are big on how much fuel you use. I myself, I love to eat. So, if it means kind of giving up some other amenity that I don't necessarily need, like, maybe that extra camera or something like that, to carry another, 4 ounces of fuel or whatnot. Hey, the bottles are reusable. It's not like carrying around a big canister that you have to throw away at the end of your trip. The bottles you reuse over and over. So I don't mind carrying the extra weight and fuel for doing something like this, so I can do this a couple times when I'm with my daughter. I mean, for us, it's all about, it's not about weight. I carry the majority of the stuff when I'm with her anyway, so, the extra 4 to 8 ounces, depending on how long my trip is, really isn't that big of a deal. And the way I look at it is, your denatured alcohol, I try to make sure the majority of my stuff is multi-purpose anyway. And having extra fuel is always great, just for the case of in the process that maybe weather does get poor, or maybe you don't have enough dry tinder. You can always put just a little bit of that on your twigs and stuff and light that, and that'll get your campfire going. So multi-purpose, excellent use. Mini heat, look at that puppy. As I said, I took this ring off. Actually sits right here on the top of that guy. I pulled that off, so it's just what's in the bowl and the little bit of felt sticking out, and just to help it along a little bit. The other mod that I did was, if you pull the wick out, so this is all carbon felt, right here I actually cut off maybe 1/8 of an inch lengthwise from the bottom to where that ring itself is. Let me see here. From here to where this ring is. And by doing so, it wasn't quite as tight here in the belly of it. So what that allowed it to do was it allowed it to fill up in here a little more, and not be so compacted on just what the wick itself was absorbing. By doing that and doing the old bottle trick, which a lot of guys who've been around for a while know what I'm talking about. What you do is, when you're in the midst of fueling, this is not necessarily a one-handed deal. Some guys can do it, I can't. I'm not that good at it. What you do is you loosen up the cap, put the cap just to where it's just finger snug, tip your bottle upside down, do your normal fuel, you hold it approximately where it is, release the lid, then you release the bottle, and what it does is it pulls your ambient air instead of pulling the air through the hose. And what that does is it keeps more fuel in your burner itself, which of course makes it last longer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Please rate, subscribe, and comment. This is Scott, pt2 out.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.